Okay, welcome to the Keyard Podcast with me, your host, Kieran Benji, or KB for short, and standing by me, like right in this very same room as you can possibly tell, is Rob Verriard.
How you doing?
Yeah, all good. Right, today's video is sponsored by a rabbit's foot to bring you good luck. I could have brought the whole rabbit, but he dug himself a deep hole and now he's in a pie.
And there we've lost all the vegan contingent of our crowd.
That's why I didn't want to tell you what my sponsor was. Actually, I can change the sponsor to just Tasty Minis because we've got a special guest who's sitting on the floor. Okay, he's not exactly sitting on the floor. He's found Katie's purple gift bag. Yeah, go on, take it onto your bed. Yeah.
Yeah, I should explain on my Instagram post promoting this show just now, I did promise Doggo.
Doggo, yes. Or Teddy.
There is currently no Doggo in sight, but not to worry.
No.
I'm sure Mai will join us in due course.
He's too busy with my old shoe at the moment.
There you go.
So how have you been, Rob?
I've been all right, mate. I've got up to a lot this week, I've got to say.
Yeah?
Hell of a lot. Yeah, so for one thing, I've already started my own stream on my channel.
Joining the family.
I've done two test streams, varying degrees of success. The first one, obviously, I had no clue what I was doing because, originally I started with Stream Elements and I built a whole overlay setup using Stream Elements and everything, only to discover it was a Windows-only thing. And I only use a Mac, so that was a good start.
Yeah, it's
and then after that, I did build an overlay in basically the Mac equivalent of Microsoft Paint, so it looks very, very shabby at the moment. I'm hoping I can get you to design it for me at some point.
Yeah, what I'd probably recommend is like get the background and stuff sorted and the logos, and then I can put.
Well, I have all of that. That's all good, you know. And
yeah.
I have my chat box, and I have I put in the tip jar, bottom left hand corner. I have my subscription goals. I would show it to you, but I don't know if you'd be able to access my. Well, I didn't put the VODs up for one thing.
Okay, let me just have a quick
just because they were tests. And,
yeah. Okay. Let me
just have a quick. I've set up commands as well. For example, we know how with your one, I've set up this little command.
Yes, KB as well.
Yeah, I have one which is English.
Yeah. I think yeah.
No. You won't be able to find. I don't have any VODs.
Oh, no.
Hosting Michael at the moment. Hopefully, he's going to join us in a bit. But essentially, I just need to customize my alerts. I would say. I have a few ideas. What are you doing?
He found that on the floor, and I don't really want him to choke on it. So. Sorry.
Hey, Tom's joined us.
Tom.
Hello, Tom.
Oh, yes.
Just had to sit through an Amazon Prime ad to get to you guys. Such fun. All my love. Well, we love you here, Tom, and we will happily have you back on this podcast at any given opportunity.
Absolutely.
I.e. when we fancy it. But yes, do go and check out the Predetermined Podcast TV. It's our mate Tom's podcast. They cover wrestling. They're going to do a WrestleMania X7 special soon if they haven't done it already, featuring a long list of contributions from myself regarding everything that happened in the year 2001. And they have made the move, the jump, I should say, to Twitch now. So in the chat, you can see his handle. It's the Predetermined Podcast TV. Go and give it a follow.
I concur.
And KB, you've actually been trying to help him with his OBS as well.
Yeah, just well, not advanced, but belated apology. Yeah, I've been caught up in other things, so I know I was supposed to resume helping you, Tom, but I've just been so busy with things that everything's caught up on me.
It's been a busy week, man. So yeah, in terms of ideas for my Twitch. Because obviously I'm gonna get a better overlay, maybe a potentially better webcam. Because this webcam, I don't know, like I guess it looks right here.
It's got good lighting. I suppose you can Like, is there an app for the webcam where you can customize how it looks and things?
Well, the thing is, I've got the light on now, but like if I turn it off, I don't know. It's still all right, I guess. But
More of a backlight, really,
you
isn't
know,
it?
maybe if I could somehow get the blurriness in the background with my Streamlabs cam potentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially, some of the stuff I want to get into. I'm thinking, you know how I always on Facebook, if I share a tune that I really like, I have the rock sign, the sunglasses emote, and the fire emote.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that could be a recurring theme
Yeah.
in my channel. I've got random CD number between 1 and 100. Pick a random CD from the shelf, play that CD.
Mm.
So, no, you're not going to be able to see, but basically, you see there, I've got a huge CD rack.
You're gonna have to turn off the blur, mate.
I'm going to have to turn off the blur. I know. I don't know how to do that at the moment, but essentially, all around the top area of my room, I have a massive CD collection. And I'm thinking I can do something where I get someone to pick a number between 1 and 100 and then pick a CD, and then I can listen to that CD. A lot of this is kind of tiptoey DMCA related, but I just figured where my channel is at this point,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care.
It's as long as it helps engagement and things like that.
Exactly.
Or
So I've got songs in background, obviously, song requests, album listening party, CM0102, FIFA, Jackbox, Among Us, etc.
Yeah.
Particularly Jackbox. I always like playing Jackbox with mates. It's a good laugh. And I feel like if I can get that up and running, that'll be good.
I'm very much considering like the stream I usually do after this podcast. I'm wondering if I should make it like a sort of party themed stream where I play games like Jackbox and stuff and invite people into it to play along.
Our session with Among Us with Michael and Kieran from Mosh Talks, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd love to do something like that. And Jackbox, it's got so many mini games on it that
I love Quiplash. Quiplash is always my favorite
is good. I love internet. What's the internet one called? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Survive the Internet, that's the one. That's one of my favourites.
I have never heard of that one.
That's basically it's a game where you enter in a comment. You have someone else's comment, and you got to find a way to twist that comment. And it goes into different things like online reviews and things like that, and Facebook and stuff. What's the other one as well? Fibbage.
There's a murder trivia. Oh, Fibbage, yeah. Murder trivia as well.
Yeah.
And every time the maths question comes up, I just forfeit because I'm that bad at maths.
Yeah. There's the voting polls one, but it's I'm not a big fan of that one.
Guespionage, is that?
Possibly. No,
is that the one with the it's like 8 out of 10 cats, you have to guess the percentage of people that voted on.
It's like a new campaign, and you've got to like vote for the best sounding one. There's also Monster Seeking Monster that I've played, but that one was a bit weird.
I've got to say, I've never even heard of these. Maybe I've only been playing like the old one.
This one's Party Pack 4. So
right, okay. I feel like I haven't really done that one yet on stream, but it's always a good laugh.
Yeah,
good times with Invicta Mag and Novena Band UK. Both check them out. They're on Twitch. Novena Band UK playing Jackbox has given me some of the biggest laughs I've had this year, because this year has not had its fair share of laughs.
No.
And I've basically got all of them just through watching. I've literally creased over, clutching my ribs, laughing so hard at their streams. So yeah, do check out Novena Band UK on Twitch. Yeah, they're brilliant. The other thing was play any Green Day song on bass, because obviously I'm in a Green Day tribute band, and I can get requests for Green Day songs. Chances are I'll know how to play them.
I should do one where I have to scream a pop song.
Yes, or potentially, what you could do. There's another. Do you know Austin Dickey, who's one half of
Jared Dines?
Jared Dines is
mate.
He streams sometimes on Twitch, and what he does is he screams out anything that they have a channel points redeem. Obviously, he screams out something that of the user's choosing.
Yeah, that's
which I think is quite funny. And he also has a Would You Rather segment. Funnily enough,
lovely,
ripping off our steez there. But anyway, yeah, tabbing out songs on stream, which could be a bit boring, but I feel like I'll put songs in the background because I do like making guitar tabs of various songs. Play one of your own songs, as in my own songs, as a channel points reward. Channel points for vocal exercise, singing badly, doing press ups, hydration, recommending an album.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a good one, which I have actually implemented on my channel. If you go onto my channel next time I stream, exclamation mark fairs for how many times I say variations of the words fair or fair enough.
Or sure.
Or I never say. Do I say sure that much?
Only in Messenger.
Oh right, okay. Or nice one. I say nice one quite a bit.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah, I've got Del Boy as a potential alert for a follower.
Yeah.
Like, one of those Del Boy gifs, and it makes sense, Rodney, in the background. Whenever I get a follow. I've got I feel like I can make my customized alerts kind of British sitcom themed.
Yeah.
For example, the other one I've got is Sergeant Wilson saying absolutely lovely, thank you so much, from Dad's Army as a donation alert. And then I need to incorporate Basil from 40 Towers into there somehow.
If you
and
have
then I've got two more things. Don't worry, before you start. And then the other two things I got down are Arsenal season watch-alongs, because I have I figured out how to stream desktop stuff from YouTube and things, and there's a lot of Arsenal season, and that will not be covered under DMCA or copyright, I don't think.
No, when you're just watching it and showing your face.
Exactly. No. No, but I am going to show obviously the footage, but it's not, unless I feel like UEFA aren't really going to come knocking.
I think if you watch a lot of the watch-alongs, a lot of them just show their face.
It's going to be a sporadic thing, obviously.
Yeah,
but
I'd just be careful with that one. That's all.
Obviously. And finally, tier lists. So Arsenal kit, Arsenal Spurs kits, TV shows, bands, chocolate bars, etc. We had actually earlier this week on Gemma Edwards' stream, we had a really contentious chocolate bar based tier list where we had Curly Whirly in God tier, right, and Star Bar in bottom tier. I was aghast. I really was.
I don't know. Curly Whirly is definitely top tier for me.
No, really?
What's wrong with Curly Whirly?
Are you serious? Curly Whirly, God tier.
Well, not
you have
God
top
tier.
tier and you have God tier.
All right, okay.
This was God's tier.
My God tier would be Double Decker. Oof. We've already done a segment on this, but I'd love to recap anyway. Double Decker, Snicker. I don't know about Snickers because I much prefer Double Decker. Double Decker, just that one alone.
Oh, Double Decker is great. Yeah, definitely Star Bar, Double Decker, Lion, Boost. Boost is amazing.
Boost is good for your soul.
It absolutely is. I'm going to try and bring up the tier list.
Yeah,
I was so aghast at this. Yeah, here we go. So they've put in God tier, they've put Dime Bar, Kit Kat Chunky, Whisper Gold, and Curly Whirly. Any thoughts on that?
Whisper. So what tier is this? Sorry.
Whisper Gold. This is God tier.
Whisper Gold. Nah.
No.
What were the other ones?
So top tier, you have Dairy Milk, Cadbury's Caramel, Toblerone, Crunchy, Toffee Crisp, Lion, Yorkie, Double Decker, and Twirl.
Caramel, yes. Toffee Crisp is great as well. Toblerone, most definitely.
Yeah.
Because I am one of the few people that know how to split it properly.
I do like a Toblerone. Yeah, a bit hard on your teeth, but same with Dime Bar for me.
I'm more of a person who likes sugar sweets than chocolate.
Oh, like pick and mix kind of stuff.
Sort of, yeah. You know those fizzy rainbow belts you get from Aldi?
Yeah.
I buy those.
Yeah, no.
And then
I've always been more of a chocolate kind of guy.
But otherwise, I'll snack on nuts like cashews or pistachios.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll mid-tier Caramac, Mars, Milky Bar, Milky Way, Aero, Galaxy Ripple, Flake, Kinder mini chocolate thing, Twix, Snickers, Chomp, and Time Out.
Time Out I like. That little Kinder thing. Is that the one with like it's white inside and it's like
Yeah.
I don't like that
They
one.
Oh no, mate, they should be higher.
No, Kinder Bueno all
Way
the
higher.
way. That would be my god tier Kinder Bueno.
I'm surprised Snickers and Mars are only mid tier.
I never tried. What was one of the first ones? I can't remember the name of it, but
Karamak,
Karamak.
was it?
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Karamak is basically. Do you know gold bars from Aviz?
Yeah.
They're basically just the layer of chocolate in gold bars,
Ah, not bad.
just as a bar.
Not bad.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then in low to bottom tier, we have Fudge, Bounty, Turkish Delight, Aero Orange, Bourneville, Fries, Spearmint Cream, Topic, Starbar, and Picnic. I was aghast at Starbar being in bottom tier.
Yeah.
Really, it's my favorite chocolate bar.
Um.
And there was some people in the chat who were going, well, it's clearly just the remnants of old chocolate bar bits that they've scraped off the Cadbury factory floor. And I was like,
You're a bit of stuff that's been scraped off the floor.
Exactly. You Philistine. You absolute heathens. I can't believe you voted like that.
Oh, dear.
Oh, got a bot in the chat. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to segue that kind of rather nicely into what I did last night, which was I actually did a bit of cooking myself.
Nice.
And basically what me and my family have kind of set ourselves a task over lockdown is we're all going to cook a meal just by ourselves each week, like one day per week. So last week, for example, it was my sister's turn. She made an awesome homemade Chinese with like homemade spring rolls, homemade satay chicken, well, I know it's technically Thai, but homemade chili beef. It was amazing, right? I decided to make a Mexican last night. He screamed a fair bit, but once I fitted him in the oven, it was all good. No. I made a Mexican cuisine.
In the oven. Come get it for me.
I decided to make these lemon squares, right, for dessert. Not really Mexican, but just because I know how to make them. I forgot. What's the one crucial ingredient, would you say, in salty lemon squares?
Salt.
The other one.
Lemon.
I forgot to put lemon juice in the fucking things.
Rob, seriously.
So basically, and I burnt the edges, right?
Something in this salty lemon square.
So basically, what I ended up with were squares, right? And they were slightly burnt as well. They weren't even that salty. I just ended up with squares, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that is my. I mean, it was Friday the 13th, in fairness. So obviously, I deserved a bit of, non-luck.
Well, I think in our household we, when we were in the first flat, that was the first flat that we lived together in. We, it was fresh, making like new curry or pasta or anything like that. But now we're like eager to make new things. A few months ago, we started with jambalaya. Chicken jambalaya with chorizo in it, and it's like one of my favorites. We've had like carbonara, pasta bake sort of stuff. If we're having a loss of appetite sort of meal, it'll just be jack potato and tuna, but mixed in with mayonnaise. But when I'm asked to make a cooked breakfast and Katie says, "Can you put a poached egg in it?" I feel like the ground is going to swallow me up. Because
do you not know how to do a poached egg?
I have looked online, but no matter how much of the instructions I follow, it just always comes out really shocking. Like I put vinegar in there, I swirl it, make sure that the water is simmering so it's not too hot so that the egg stays in. But it
what sort of vinegar? Balsamic or like normal?
Malt
vinegar. Oh no.
Oh, is it balsamic?
I prefer balsamic.
Oh, they didn't say which. They just said put vinegar in there.
I'll tell you what, we'll probably have to dedicate a future podcast to all of my food gripes because I'm the fussiest person in the whole world.
Maybe we'll do a podcast where my camera is set up in the kitchen and I'm showing you how to
KB's
cook.
Cooking Hour.
And then just the bacon spitting me in the face, and I go up to the camera all red faced like, "So how's everyone doing?"
I used to cook two things whilst I was at uni. The whole time I was there, right? Fajita chicken and bacon and eggs.
Oh,
That's it. That's all I knew how to cook from scratch, right? That essentially, I always bought like frozen, uh, chicken or frozen chips or whatever. I would never go out of my way to cook anything. Hence why I struggled a bit last night. I don't know how you were with cooking at uni yourself.
I was very good at emptying the can of beans and putting it in a bowl in the microwave.
Deli Alley.
Deli Alley, yeah. Well, except I only did that in uni and not now because Katie would prefer to use the stove for that, or
Yeah.
not minimal beans at all.
So at UKC you lived on beans.
Beans is one of the things. I had some weird food combinations like beans and noodles. Why are you crying? He's crying now. He's like,
Aw.
oh no, not noodles and beans.
Do you want to bring him up just quickly?
Does he?
If you can.
I'm not sure. Does he want to go to the toilet? No. No, he wants to sit down. Do you? Do you want to sit down? Lie down.
KB's dog.
Teddy bear, want to come up? No? Yes? Maybe? No? Just licking your cock? Okay.
Anyway, moving on. So, what was your kitchen like at uni? Did you have one of those kitchens that was kind of ramshackly built just for student purposes? Or was
So
it...
I moved from place to place. I started in Rutherford. I did not like it one bit. Like in terms of just the layout and things like that. Like I had a decent sized room and it had a sink and stuff, but that bloody kitchenette was just absolute. Thank you for banning him, by the way.
No worries. I just banned the bot in chat whilst he was. Yeah, carry
on. So it was like it just had no microwave and stuff. There was catering and stuff like that downstairs. It was kind of like a B&B, but I think I then moved to Parkwood, and I was in one of the 6-bedroom houses in the corner as well, and I was just like, right, I am set.
Oh, love Parkwood. That was my first halls. Well, I say halls. It was a house.
Yeah.
Right opposite Woody's and
Woody's. Did you ever get like the stack burgers that they had? I remember when there was one time when we all went to, because it's pretty much like an American themed bar, isn't it? Woody's, like Southern American, and they have those burger stacks. And when we came out of an exam to have lunch, this guy on another table ordered like a 10-stack chicken burger or burger.
Oh.
And like his friends just left him at the table while he'd only finished half of it.
He must have been very hungover, I tell you. No, they've completely changed Woody's now. It's completely different. They've basically they took it down. They demolished it completely and just rebuilt it. And I was really sad about that, because it was always a great place to hang out, watch the football, when you're a student. But yeah, Hall's first year wasn't bad. The house I eventually ended up moving towards. One day when I was cooking it was like that bit in Top Gear where they open the door to the car and the door is actually still there. I was opening the door to the oven and the exoskeleton of the door came off in my hand.
Oh.
And it was kind of a bit not built superbly.
No,
we say.
I just like it was always that case. You'd always get that one of your flatmates would always be the one to leave the fork in the microwave when they heat something up, and wonder why
would they do that,
and then wonder why someone left a sparkler in the microwave. And I was like, that's not a sparkler. I think like because I had some friends in Tyler Court as well, and it was just weird, because like Rutherford was really cheap. Tyler Court was right next to it, but quite expensive. And then I think, was it Keynes was the most expensive? Because it was.
Oh, I don't know. It was the one near the bus stop.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
But then Parkwood was like run of the mill kind of price. Like it was, and for houses. I like
Parkwood.
Stuff, I love Parkwood so much.
I just remember there was a massive water balloon fight between all the houses in Parkwood in first year at one point, and. Did you actually have a dishwasher when you eventually moved into houses, or did you have to do all your own washing?
No, I still had to do my own washing up. Sadly, it was a weird moving in situation. I remember we were going to what's that? is it Hales Place? It was the place that everyone made fun of, that street or
Oh yeah,
avenue.
no, guess what? I lived in Hell's Place.
But I was gonna say, like, there's that part of Hales Place, like
That
the rundown
that was the
looking kind
place
of
in
place.
that was the place in Canterbury where the infamous cannibal lived.
There was a cannibal there.
Yeah, cannibal lived in Hell's Place.
Oh wow, I, I can't count the amount of walk of shames I had to do from Hale's Place, but that's for another day.
That's for another day. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there was like a really nice house on like the better side of Hale's Place. It was on a hill, and it was a 6-bedroom house, £340 a month per person, including gas, electric, internet, and one of my friends was hesitating on it because one person didn't want to put the foot in for the bill because it was on a hill and it wasn't near a bus stop. How bloody pedantic could you get? Like, you've got all that stuff, and then later on says, "Oh, who else would be happy to like spend, up to a maximum of 450 per month on a house?" I'm like, what? No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I basically, with my house, I just decided to stay there for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
First year, I was obviously on campus. Following 2 years, I don't know. Like, I feel like I made a. I feel like I should have moved in third year because I was a bit of an. I ended up drinking a lot in second year and becoming a bit of a nuisance to my housemates.
Oh,
And they
really?
were having a bit of a go at me.
I was a nuisance to other people's houses, to be honest. But
Yeah, but what can you do? Actually, back on the subject of cooking disasters, I did attempt to make some lemon muffins the other day as well. Maybe it's just me and lemons. Like, maybe I should just stay away from cooking if it involves lemons.
when life gives you lemons, run the fuck away.
Well, I promise you I put lemons in it this time, but this time round, I was like, all right, well, we don't really have a tin that's big enough, like a baking with a cake tin, with the holes. My mum was like, "Oh, just put the muffin cases just stood upright in the oven. It'll be fine."
Yeah.
It was not fine.
Oh, dear.
They leaked. It leaked all over the place in the oven, and they still tasted good, but we kind of had to sort of scrape it off the the remnants off the bloody the baking tray.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever attempted baking that much, but yeah.
No, I've never been much of a baker, to be honest. I think I just let everyone else bake for
It's
me.
what everyone's done in lockdown, isn't it? They've used all their old bananas and baked banana bread.
Yeah, I mean, Katie's more of a baker than I am, and she does a really good job at it. And she always says, "Oh, I hope you'll like this one. Please, you're gonna hate it on you." I'm like, when have I ever said I hate any of your meals?
That's good. All right. So, well, the other thing that happened to me this week was I got a new phone,
Okay.
and it's iPhone 7, and I just figured I've had this other one, the 6S, for 2 years. The battery was degrading significantly. It said service battery on it, and I just figured as opposed to paying for a new battery, which would cost like hundreds of pounds, I might as well get a new one. And I was paying far too much as well with free, but sorting out trying to first off try and get a new deal and negotiate a new deal from free, and then get a pack code. God, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I tell you, it's so frustrating.
I know. Like my phone's the Huawei P20 Pro, and it's there. You can hear it there. It's a car alarm. It's the last Huawei phone to have Google on it. After that, like, if Vodafone call me up tomorrow and say, "Oh, you're entitled to a new phone. How about a new Huawei?" I'm like, absolutely not. Or, does it have Google on it? Well, no, but it's got this and this. Not interested.
Could you not download Google on your new phone, like as an app?
No, it means like all Google Play services and stuff are banned off like Chinese phones, essentially.
Really?
That's, well, yeah, I believe so.
Wow. So you can't download any apps essentially on a new phone.
You can, but on Huawei's specific store, which is not as universal as Google Play. So
Well, I mean, I was hesitant with this one because the iPhone 7, doesn't have any earphone port in it, and you have to buy their ridiculously overpriced earpods or Bluetooth earphones. And I'm a guy who loves to listen to music, whilst I'm on a walk
well, I mean, I've got like for my
or on a
phone.
commute or whatever.
For my phone, I got those ones that costed 20 quid, and those are the ones I used to use when we first started doing Listen to This, and I used to put them in my ear there, and they work as well
We've got
as
Michael.
ever.
Michael was raiding us. Welcome,
Yay!
Michael.
Hello, Michael, and everyone else. Thank you for joining. You'll love it here.
Yeah. So we've already talked about, just in summary of what we've talked about so far, we've already talked about cooking disasters.
Looks like
Well,
meat's back on the menu, boys. That should be my raid theme.
Yeah, no, we've actually been talking about how to grow this channel and my own channel with alert boxes and things like that. So any suggestions are welcome, But yeah, it's back on the menu, boys. That's a good one. I think you can customize alert boxes.
Maybe
to be fair.
Should it be the actual sound clip or should it be me doing an impression of it?
Because just going back to Streamlabs briefly, I was worried that you had to pay to get your own custom alerts and things.
No, you don't. Not for custom alerts. So like you can add like a new GIF, you can add your own sound effect.
Well, that's fantastic because I'm definitely going to see if I can add. I need to know how to make GIFs.
So what you like, just quickly, what you do. So the actual dashboard of Streamlabs is where you customize the look of it, and then that feeds into your software on your computer, and essentially you add the source, which is like add alert box, and then you can customize the shape and stuff of it there. So it drags all that data from your dashboard onto there, and then you can also test it to see how it is as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, just going back to phones quickly. So Tom was saying he decided to go with EE and redid my deal back in April for the new iPhone SE. Yeah, iPhone SE was one of the things that they offered to me. But the problem is, right, when you're on the phone to customer service, even though you lay the deal out in black and white, crystal clear, they still don't have a clue what you're on about. And it's so frustrating, and I was getting really flustered and I was tempted to just go, fuck off and put the phone down, which I never do. Even with like cold callers, I'm generally quite nice and just go, sorry, not interested, bye. Whereas my dad is more likely to say something like, fuck off, put the phone down.
I don't even say fuck off. I hear a little bit of what they've had to say to get a bit of context, and then I just hang up without saying anything. I don't know. I don't feel, not to sound like a dick, but I don't feel like I owe them that, and they probably used to it anyway.
It's fair enough, but it's just frustrating, And then I got a deal with O2, and I put my pack code on the site, the seller site, to go through, and I get my phone. It's a completely different number, so my new phone number's only just been ported in, so I'm annoyed about that. But dealing with phones essentially is, to wrap this up, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It's so frustrating.
Oh, absolutely. Like, they probably will, like, be 3 months before my contract ends, because it ends next year, maybe April or something like that. They may say I'm entitled to a new phone or something like that. And the thing is, like, I'd only stay with Vodafone if they offer me something that is relatively cheap compared to other networks. Because as long as I don't ever have to ring customer service, I'm not too bothered, because I am not a big fan of Vodafone's customer service one bit.
Yeah, fair dues. Michael, the raid went through fine, thanks, mate. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
You missed me telling Rob that I packed Mbappe in FIFA 21, and now I've changed to a League One team.
And I think Michael was subscribed as well, because he has a first next to his name. So thank you so much, Michael, for subscribing to our channel.
I should put like that list of like latest subscriber and stuff like that. I should have that on the podcast.
Yeah. Did you show the guys in chat the new emotes? Yeah. We have new emotes for tier 1 and tier 2. At tier 2, you have my lovely face. You can put it in the chat at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are all the emotes that your options if you subscribe to us. So the first one is my face, which was you captured from one of our download vlogs, right?
Yeah.
Download 2018, was it?
Yeah. Is it big enough,
I
do you think? Or is it a little bit
I
small?
don't think I've ever made that face in my entire life. So how you managed to find a crop a face of me doing that face, I have no idea.
Get on me.
Yeah, but the second one, explain the second and third ones then.
So the first one, I made a video parodying this kid who tried to go Super Saiyan on camera. He was like, ah! So I made my own video ages ago called "Kid Tries to Be a Pokemon Master," and then I was just going on camera, "Bulbasaur, I choose you," and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the video, it just shot to me doing this sort of face at the camera. So I liked it so much. And then the third one is when I decided to dye my hair when I was 17 and went too far and dyed my eyebrows as well.
Oh my god, so that is your actual hair?
That's my actual hair.
Jesus.
Yep.
So what made you decide to dye your hair blonde then?
Me, just who I am as a person.
Yeah. So anyway, you can get my face if you're subscribed at tier 2, I believe, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Because unfortunately, at the moment, KB is only allowed one emote per tier.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, I'm not sure when that will change. Hopefully at some point. I'll have to have a look. How are you allowed more emotes and things like that?
Yeah.
And I've also started uploading my old Let's Plays I used to do on YouTube to my Twitch channel, but I think there is a limit of 100, or for me at least at the moment 50. So it'll be done like daily. I wish I could just do it all in one go, but maybe it will like make things a bit less overwhelming for people to see when they come onto my channel. But
yeah, definitely.
Like I did like Pokemon Black 2, Rayman, all those classics. The first Last of Us game. So I've got quite a few of those.
Sorry, I had to do that again just to show off my commands. I have a command in place which says exclamation mark Welsh.
So
and the response is yes, KB is Welsh.
Yay.
It works for you as well.
All right.
Double Welsh. Yeah, so if you do want to see our list of commands, I've just put it in the chat. I've added a few funny ones. But yeah, so I guess we've covered phones, we've covered cooking. Should we cover a bit of football, I guess?
Yeah. Can you talk about your football news while I take Marley out for a wee? If that's okay. I know that's a bit awkward.
Oh no, he's not doing it over the floor, is he?
No, it's just he might be due.
Okay,
and I'd rather not Katie walk home to pee on the floor.
All right, okay. So yeah, we must explain. I did promise Doggo in the Instagram prep and promo for this podcast, and we only got him for that picture, and he's disappeared now.
Yeah,
so sorry about that.
He's missing his mummy ears.
All right, so yeah, you go and take care of that, and I'll stall them.
All right, brilliant. Talk about your football. Talk about whatever you need to. Absolutely.
I might actually catch up on all your comments. There's got a few comments, but yeah, go. All right. Go. Take him out
on the double.
On the double, right? So yeah, I'll catch up on some of your comments in here.
Come on, buddy.
You recommend Anker Soundbud Slims for good quality earphones? Yeah, well, just Bluetooth earphones in general. I like. They're actually quite. They last quite a long time compared to these sort of wiry earphones. So it's a fair point. It's just a case of I love listening to music on commutes, and I hate it when I'm on a train and the train's delayed and my phone runs out of battery or my earphones stop working. You know what I mean? So if I'm in a situation like that, I would rather have it was a bit touch and go. You know, this is why I struggled so long over getting this phone. It was like, do I want earphones or do I want quality? You know, and a cheaper price. And ultimately, the cheaper price ran out. You know, we are in a pandemic after all. Yeah, guys that have just joined from the raid. We have Tom from the Predetermined podcast in the chat. And I didn't mention this earlier. If you go and follow him on Twitch, you'll be doing him a massive solid. Because his podcast is moving full-time to Twitch. I presume full-time anyway. Sorry, my hair is crap at the moment. Here he is. Oh, he's okay. He's getting doggo treats. So doing research, yeah, definitely do your research on phones before you get a new phone. Comparison websites are always good, and it makes it a bit less stressful. What else have we got? Kit Kat cookies and cream for the tier list. That is a good shout. Anything cookies and cream related, the Oreo ones as well, the Hershey Oreos. Even though I'm not a massive fan of Hershey, the cookies and cream version is always good. God tier Galaxy Smooth Caramel Boost and Lion. That is a solid God tier list, Tom. Appreciate it. Yeah, what else we got? Yeah, thanks for the promo. Yes, research was good. Yeah, you're welcome, by the way. Yeah, I had to do a massive amount of research for Tom's podcast about the year 2001, which albums came out that year. So we had, obviously, Bleed American by Jimmy Eat World, Toxicity, as Tom points out, Puddle of Mud's only good album, Gorilla's self-titled. I mean, there's so many bangers on that list. Oh, nice one, Murray Man. So yeah, Tom, you have a new follower in Murray Man. Appreciate that, man. He's a good lad, Murray Man. I'll go through football news briefly because we don't, I think me and KB have both agreed not to cover that much. But basically, we got our arses handed to us by Aston Villa, and that was fun. I'd never want to see a front three of Willian, Aubameyang, and Lacazette ever again. It just does not work, right? Pepe has been complaining that he hasn't been given enough game time. I would happily draft him in ahead of Willian because Willian just has not delivered for us so far. He clearly has quality, but just in that system, I just don't feel like. And we need to play Aubameyang up front through the middle as well, right? He has a weird hang up, Arteta, about Aubameyang's positioning. He always plays him on the left-hand side, and that's just not his natural role as far as I'm concerned, right? And we got a huge wake-up call. It's at home. As I know Villa beat Liverpool 7-2, right? But just at home, at least that was at Villa Park, right? At home, losing 3-0. That's just not acceptable with the quality we supposedly have in our squad. And taking Partey off at half-time, which hopefully he's not injured. I don't know what was up with that, Am I concerned about Saka's future? Yeah, I mean, he signed a new contract last season, which was good. That was actually better, a better signing for my mind than some of our actual signings were. Tying that kid down to a future at Arsenal was obviously one of the top priorities, and I'm glad we managed to do that. You believe he should be a front three, but Arteta in England believe he's a wing back. In terms of positional, do you mean in terms of his positional future? Well, it has worked in the past. We've had players like Thierry Henry, who've obviously when he turned up, he was a winger. Oh, sorry for mentioning Thierry Henry in front of you, Murray Man. I'm sure it bring back bad memories. But anyway, he started off as a winger and then he moved to a striker, and obviously turned out excellently for him. Yeah, William has been bobbing since he came over. I agree, Murray Man. And it's very sad to see. I'm sure he has quality, but I just don't know if he's utilising him the right way. And he's had his fair share of chances as well. He hit the bar against Man United and scored an excellent free kick against Fulham. So there is quality there. Whether there's enough quality remains to be seen. I feel like I can give him a season, but just he needs some time out the team, and Pepe, Nketiah, or Nelson in particular, God knows why he's been frozen out. He needs to come in, right? So I guess they had a good album. Yeah, Puddle of Mud did have one good album, which was their first one, which I actually have. I bought it at a CD store, secondhand CD store in Soho. Great shop called Reckless Records, and if you're in that area post lockdown, I recommend checking it out because there are some rarities in there. It's KB's phone again. He's got some sort of weird car alarm thing installed on his phone. Yeah. That's fair. Well, I have a power bank charged at a point. Yeah, I know you can get power banks for earphones, but carrying it around and I like to have my phone attached to my ears. Especially in London where a lot of it's easy to lose your phone and stuff. In fact, just quick phone story. I was coming home really drunk from Bedford, and my stop's not far away, right? And I I was kind of asleep on the phone I was asleep with my phone, my earphones attached to my ears. And then I woke up just in time for to see the doors open on my stop. And in a panic, I jumped up and ran out. And then I noticed that my earphones were no longer attached to my phone. And it was like a comedy sketch or something. I turned around really suddenly to see my phone on one of the train chairs, and the train slowly speeding away as I like helplessly look on, like, no, you know. And then I ended up really leaving a really drunk voicemail message saying, I don't know who was out there, but if you could please return my phone, you know. Ended up in Luton. I actually ended up finding exactly where my phone was, and it ended up in Luton. And unfortunately, I couldn't negotiate the safe return of it. But yeah, I'm terrible with phones. Things like losing them, cracking the screen, whatever. Oh, he has been to. Murray Man, you have been to Reckless Records. You've got you got a Peace of Mind by Maiden on vinyl there. Great shout. All Ages Records in Camden. Brilliant. I have never been to All Ages Records in Camden. I do love a good old record shop. I hope the record shop will be able to have a bit of sustainability in the future, because I do believe there is a market there. For particularly people that collect CDs, old vinyl. It'll be amazing. All right, he's back. Hello.
He had a wee yay.
I think I tied them over for a bit while you were gone.
What did you talk about?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. Record shops. We talked about Pepe and Arsenal and how shit we are.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Standard stuff.
Yeah, sorry, I walked up so many stairs.
You need to visit Camden post lockdown, Michael. Yeah, you do, mate. If you do visit Camden post lockdown, me and you are going for a drink, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Just and obviously our friend Sarah Sang is from that area as well. I'm surprised I haven't seen her in the dev yet. Yeah, Camden's, it's where it's at as far as I'm concerned in terms of, like,
love Camden.
You have the underworld there. You have World's End, the Devonshire Arms. You have obviously Dingwalls, the Roundhouse. So many great quality places. The Black Heart. Have you ever been to Camden that much, KB? At all?
Yeah, I've been to Camden a few times.
To do what, for gigs or like?
Both, really. Well, been to the Electric Ballroom. Been to a pub by the sort of castle area. By this, I think it's a bit further up, and then World's End and the Underworld to finish it off.
Good stuff.
This when I went there with Sam, he was really drunk, and this one girl wanted me to come back to hers, which I wasn't really attracted to at all. And I said, well, I need to help him find his way back. We're staying together, and she was like, ditch him. I'm like,
no, but come on, that is a bro move, to be fair.
Oh yeah,
I was a bit like that up in Leeds, to be fair. I was kind of like, but that's another story for another time.
We got so many other stories.
Yes, all those stories. Right. I guess seeing as it was Friday the 13th this week,
yes,
I figured I could slightly tie in to this podcast some stuff by reading you a bunch of random horror movie trivia.
All right, let's see if I know my stuff.
So this is from mentalfloss.com, right? And there's 40 of these, but I'm going to pick out a select few. So starting off with the one that started it all, really, in terms of horror movies. Actually, we'll preface this, right? What would you say are your favorite horror movies, KB, if you had to choose?
I'll
pose the question to chat as well.
I love my Halloween. Sinister, really good one. Pretty modern film, but still classic. Exorcist. It was ages ago since I watched The Exorcist, but still like way ahead of its time. The Thing. Really love The Thing.
The Thing is fantastic.
The Shining. The one of the Saw films, maybe the first one. I think the first Saw film is an absolute classic. I really did like that latest one that came onto Netflix called The Platform. It's like a French movie, but it's been dubbed over, and it's like a more psychological horror. So I like those kinds of ones as well. But yeah, those are a few of my favorite things.
In terms of horror, yeah,
And then I don't feel so slashed.
In terms of my horror taste, it's so odd, right? Because me and my mate used to watch really crap, low budget horror movies. I'm talking really crap and really low budget.
Yeah.
Not in, obviously you have things like Trauma, which is deliberately rubbish.
Mhm.
You know, Toxic Avenger and Citizen Toxie, yada yada, all that stuff. You know, deliberately tongue in cheek. You know, which is how I like my horror movies for the most part, like Evil Dead 2 as well, and Brain Dead. Brain Dead is brilliant, by the way. If you've never seen that, it's one of Peter Jackson's first ever films. He started off as a horror movie director, and it's so gory that you just laugh because it's so gory. Any movie that gets a set of internal organs walking about by themselves is doing something right. You know what I mean?
Here's a bit of a question. What would you find? Oh, It Follows, another good one. Scream, yeah, that counts as well.
Scream! I love Scream.
Scream's quite cool because it does poke fun at those horror movie tropes, while also
that's
being
the
it
thing.
at the same time.
That's another thing I love about like Cabin in the Woods. I was going to say another one. Films that are self-aware and self-reflexive of their own tropes.
Yeah,
I tend to gravitate towards a lot more. But I also like the Hellraiser movies as well. And I met Doug Bradley actually at a convention. Really nice guy, but I was so terrified, and I was like, I'll never forgive myself for this. But my mate is the biggest Hellraiser fan, right? My aforementioned mate. He could barely speak to him because he was so nervous. And then he was like, "I'll just get a photo." You know, took the photo. My hands were shaking, and these are in the days, obviously, of old like wind-up cameras, as opposed to phones. And I took the photo, and it's so blurry, and you can barely make out either of them. But obviously, we didn't really have time to take another one, and I'll never forgive myself for that one. But actually, Hellraiser, like 1, 2, and 3 are great, right? 4 is a bit crap. 5 and 6 are underrated. I'll tell you, Hellraiser, Hellseeker, and Hellraiser Inferno, I recommend checking out. That's just a brief list of my horror movies. But
I was gonna pose a question. In any like non-horror movie, what is the scariest thing you found in a non-horror movie?
oh, well, I'll tell you what. Like, I have not been able to get to sleep that much recently because of one PSA that I stumbled upon on the internet.
All right.
For some reason on YouTube, I like to look up the scariest PSAs of all time. You know what PSAs are, right?
Yeah,
They're
public
like
service
they're like
announcement.
adverts warning you of the dangers of something.
Don't drink and drive. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them are so scary.
Oh yeah.
It's unbelievable. There's basically the one I'm talking about is it's actually a Scottish based advert, and it's warning you of the dangers of it's either methamphetamine or crystal meth.
Right.
And basically it's a picture of this girl's face, and she's like an innocent looking girl. And then all of a sudden, as the advert progresses, her face morphs into like a evil, like kind of that sort of face,
Right.
and it's so scary. I've been losing sleep over that. So adverts tend to scare me more than like scary stuff in non-horror films. Although I don't know, would you count Seven as a horror film?
I've never seen it.
Because the bit in Seven where I don't know, spoilers, I guess, if you haven't seen Seven. Oh, and it's not really a spoiler, right? But basically, the whole point of Seven was that it's a killer that kills people based on the 7 deadly sins. And he ties one of the victims to a bed, right? And he's completely emaciated and like almost like a skeleton, right? So he looks like he's dead. But as Morgan Freeman leans in, it suddenly goes, "Ah!"
Oh,
and
bloody jump
jumps up
scares.
at you. Any jump scare in any non-horror film, I just no.
Yeah, I was. That was another one I was going to mention as well. Was recently watched the movie Split with James McAvoy. That
Oh, great movie.
that was
Great
really
movie.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the other one as well? Because I was thinking of Red Dragon. You know,
Now
Silence
I
of the
really
Lambs
want to see
sort of
that.
thing.
I want to see that because I love Edward Norton. He's one of my favorite actors.
Oh yeah, yeah. It is like it's to die for. Like I thought the Hannibal. Like I think it's a sequel, isn't it?
Well,
Or is it a
weirdly, the
prequel?
only Hannibal film I've actually seen is Hannibal Rising, which is like the worst
That is
one.
terrible, absolutely terrible. No, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal is pretty good, but I think it can get a bit boring at times. But then Red Dragon is like this whole cat and mouse game, which I really love. And I think then there's the TV series, which is good, but I found
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah.
yeah, I think my problem with it was like there wasn't enough kind of character variation. It kind of just felt a bit samey to me. But that's I just prefer like sort of character depth.
I've got it. The scariest moment in a non-horror film at the end of Roger Rabbit. Right? Have you seen Roger Rabbit?
Roger Rabbit, no.
Oh,
I
right.
need
Well,
to
this
get
isn't going to
onto
make sense to you, but basically, Roger Rabbit, right? The villain in that, who's played by Christopher Lloyd, aka Doc, Back to the Future. He falls into a vat of this stuff which contains stuff to kill cartoons with.
right.
Because you know how it's half cartoon, half real life, right? You know that about Roger Rabbit, I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the very end, he I can't even really explain it without because you don't know it. It'll make no sense to you. But essentially, chat will know what I'm talking about, right? Where his eyes bug out and he goes, "When I killed your brother, I talked just like this." And his voice gets higher and higher and higher. That is scary.
All right. My
Bambi's mum getting shot as well is another one.
See, when I was
That's
younger,
not-
I didn't.
not
I thought
really
she just
scary, but
disappeared.
scarring.
I was too stupid to understand what had actually happened. What was I going to say? My scariest moment,
Yeah,
which I'm
Judge
just
Doom,
like,
Mario, that's
oh
all.
my god, this I just can't bear to look at this. That scene from King Kong when they fall into the pit and those massive worm things. Do you remember those?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, they're so
the
grotesque.
remake of King Kong, right? Peter
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, that's terrifying. That was terrifying.
Oh my god.
Particularly if you have any sort of phobia around bugs.
It's
that
just
is-
worm-like things. Anything without legs except snakes, I don't like.
Yeah. No. That. To be fair, I was all right with that, but I think it's the bit where it swallows Andy Serkis's head.
Yeah, it's just
In that film.
it's just the CGI. The way it flows.
It's
and stuff.
really good, isn't it? It's really
Yeah,
good.
too good.
Wetter are so good with which was a shame. Why I felt so sad about The Hobbit, because the CGI in the Hobbit films was crap.
It was too. It just didn't look like it blended in that well. Like you look at Gollum in the original trilogy, and he looks like he fits in. But then I don't know if it's to do with the lighting or something with the Hobbit, but you could tell that it was CGI, and the point of CGI
I was so disappointed.
Yeah, the point of CGI is to make sure that it blends in without you being able to notice that CGI. Like it's CGI, but it looks like it's actually there. Like
yeah.
I forgot to mention I was watching the Harry Potter films from back to back this week, and seeing Dobby in the second film compared to the Deathly Hallows is just wow. It's something.
I've still never seen Order of the Phoenix or the last two Harry Potter films. I checked out on Goblet of Fire, and then I watched Half-Blood Prince just because there was nothing else on.
Order of the Phoenix is probably the least popular film in the series. That's usually the one people say, "Oh, that's my least favorite." For me, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Half-Blood Prince either because I feel like they left quite a bit of stuff out. But Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, I think are really good for what they are, despite the fact that there are some crucial parts of the book that they did leave out. And I think that's
for me. I don't think I'll get many enemies by saying that Azkaban is my favorite Harry Potter film.
Oh no, definitely. It's like it is. It's between. I'm very.
Partly because it has the most Gary Oldman in,
Yeah.
and none of the others do.
It's between for me. It's between that and Goblet for me.
Yeah.
I absolutely hated Ron in the Goblet of Fire. I thought he was an absolute prick.
What are the scary moments from non-scary films? Maybe we could sack off the list and just think about scary moments from non-scary films, because I think that's quite a good topic.
Yeah, should we put that towards like a tier list for later on, or like a top 10? We should start doing that. Really, like sort of like.
Well, wait, I mean, you're used to doing top tens on your channel, obviously, so maybe you could incorporate that somehow. If obviously you can get the maybe just use pictures as opposed to actual clips from films. But
yeah, happy to do that.
But all right, I'll rattle off a couple of random facts, right? So starting off with the one that started it all with Nosferatu. Apparently, Count Orlok in Nosferatu only blinks once. In the 9 minutes of screen time Max Schreck has as Count Orlok in F.W. Murnau's classic Nosferatu from 1922, he blinks only one time. And obviously, there are rumors that he was actually a real vampire. You know what? I'll do 5 of these, and then maybe next week we could continue this.
Oh, I think the scariest non-horror film is probably the Star Wars Christmas special. Actually, now that someone mentioned Darth Vader,
brilliant.
It made me tear my eyes out. These are replicas.
So The Exorcist was the first horror film to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. There still seems to be a bias against scary movies during award season, and The Exorcist earned 10 Oscar nominations in 1974, including Best Supporting Actress for Linda Blair, who was only 15 at the time. Robert Englund was not the first choice to play Freddy Krueger.
Really? I think I remember reading something about that.
Wes Craven reportedly planned to have a stuntman play the seemingly immortal youth hater known as Freddy Krueger, but wisely opted to go with an accomplished actor for the role instead. His first choice was David Warner, who you'll no doubt recognize from Time Bandits, Titanic, and various incarnations of Star Trek. He had to pass on the project, which opened the door for the truly excellent Robert Englund, and he is excellent. In fact, my mate at not the same con, but another con we went to, did meet him, said he was really lovely. Number 4, Psycho is the first American film ever to feature a toilet on screen.
Wow.
In addition, it's the first American film in which we hear a toilet being flushed. So, there we go. Truly horrific, seeing a toilet on screen. That's the real horror of Psycho, seeing a toilet on screen.
I'm going to kill you now, but first I need a number 2.
Yes. And number 5, Stephen King. I mean, I guess this is common knowledge. Stephen King wasn't a fan of The Shining, as in the film adaptation.
They were big rivals, though, weren't they? Stanley and Stephen.
Stanley
Kubrick.
Did I say? Yeah. Well, I thought you meant Stan Lee, as in Marvel. No, Stanley Kubrick. Well, just to give you a bit of context, he told Playboy. I was having an interview with Playboy. Fair enough. I'd admired Stanley for a long time and had great expectations for the project, but I was deeply disappointed at the end result. Parts of the film are chilling, charged with relentlessly claustrophobic terror, but others fell flat. Yeah, no, you do have the argument with The Shining of book adaptation against film adaptation. There's so apparently the book is very different to how the film actually turned out, and Stanley Kubrick obviously had to stamp his auteur brilliance on it. If you have two great powerhouse writers and directors like that together, obviously there's going to be a conflict of interests there.
Okay, well,
but and he didn't like the casting of Jack Nicholson either.
Really?
And he said he was wrong for the part. His last big role had been in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and between that and the manic grin, the audience automatically identified him as a loony from the first scene. But the book is about Jack Torrance's gradual descent into madness.
I can see why you wouldn't like Jack Nicholson.
I see that, because Jack Nicholson's obviously he had that look which looks mental from the very beginning. Because that's just how he looks. It'd be like casting Willem Dafoe as Jack Torrance.
Yeah, although I mean, they did kind of get that right in
like like William Dafoe in the Green Goblin. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, you obviously knew he was going to be the Green Goblin because he already looked mental. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, like, well, at least at the start, he kind of had that charm about him. Um, I just can't picture Willem Dafoe not looking like Christopher Walken. That's just, I just feel like they're brothers.
I can kind of see the resemblance. By the way, if none of you out there have ever seen The Lighthouse, which is a film that came out earlier this year with Robert Pattinson, Willem Dafoe, go and watch it. It's amazing. It's by the same director as The Witch, Robert Eggers, and it's I guess you could call it a horror. It's more of a psychological thriller, and there's lots of very disturbing imagery. And it's about two lighthouse keepers that kind of are stranded on this island, and they kind of go a bit mad, you know. But brilliant performances. I've probably sung its praises enough on the podcast previously, but yeah. So, have you got anything else to say about that, KB?
No,
Oh, we have Murray Man in the chat saying Willy Wonka tunnel scene in the film.
that's when he cuts off the chicken's head.
Oh God, yeah, that is unnecessarily scary.
Yeah,
It really. People go on about how like messed up the Johnny Depp version was because Johnny Depp was essentially playing Michael Jackson, but if you look at the '60s film, it's so much more disturbing.
oh, definitely. He's like a farmer now, isn't he, Charlie? The guy who played him.
Something like that, yeah. He's a big actor. The Charlie in the Johnny Depp version has gone on to do loads of things.
Freddie Highmore, yeah.
In that Freddie Highmore, yeah. All right, so shall we move on to very quickly talking about the the main WWE news this week?
Yes. Okay.
Unfortunate WWE news this week.
So
literally happened yesterday.
Yeah. So Zelina Vega. From what I know about this, she posted a Twitter status advocating for unionization in wrestling, and then before you know it, she's released from WWE.
It's madness, isn't it?
It is like, yeah.
The fact in a contact. I mean, I'm going to use the word sport for these purposes, but a contact sport where you can actually hurt each other badly. There's no union. That just seems insane.
Yeah, exactly. And like I've seen people post on Twitter like saying, "Oh, you sign up for the contract. Why do you need a union? Because you signed up for it." Blah blah blah. I don't think people understand the main reason for having a union is to make sure that things are followed as to the book as possible.
To protect the welfare of your town.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So with that, there can be that healthcare and stuff provided, the traveling, because at the moment, it's really difficult in terms of them for traveling and stuff like that. And get rid of that stupid etiquette which says that you're not allowed to sleep.
They have to all travel, arrange their own travel, get to the venue themselves. It's not provided for them. They have to. So on top of the travel expenses, you also they have to get food for themselves.
Yeah, it's like,
and
I think I just think like that travel thing. I remember, did I say that there was an etiquette in a previous podcast that you can't, if you're not the driver, you're not allowed to fall asleep, and I say fuck that. Because they get like 5 hours of sleep a night anyway. I just saw a Ryback's tweet on that page that you let me share it.
It's not like he's going to come back to WWE anytime soon. To be fair,
yeah, of course.
But speaking of Ryback, I actually I listened to and this is kind of ties into it. I listened to the the CM Punk podcast he did with Colt Cabana. Yeah, that infamous podcast, Just Over Here. I've listened to it so many times, and every single time it's so entertaining to listen to.
Yeah.
And he talks about wrestlers needing a union as well.
Oh, yeah.
In that very podcast. And this was what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when he first left? No, even longer than that. He was like 2000, so it would have been like 5 years ago, probably.
Thing is, if you're like in a battle for your job against management, and you're worried about how the rest of your career is going to pan out and stuff like that, a union is going to be very, very helpful in that scenario. So,
Mm.
oh, you signed a contract, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's not just about what's on the contract, it's about the longevity of your career as a wrestler, because, you've seen people, their careers just absolute ended. Like, what's the Hayabusa, was it, that his career ended
Mm.
after that whole botched lion salt?
Yeah.
And there was another one who bashed his skull on the canvas,
Oh, loads of people have broken their
and
necks.
you know,
Lionheart broke his neck in Styles Clash. Yoshitatsu broke his neck in Styles Clash.
yeah.
I'm not trying to put anything on AJ Styles, but wrestler. The point I'm trying to make is wrestlers get hurt.
But the thing is, as well, without the union, the wrestlers themselves are the ones who are blamed when it's essentially like no responsibility taken from the management or anything like that. It's solely on the wrestlers. Like, not saying that they don't have a part to play, but at the same time, you employ these people.
Well, maybe what the muddles it a bit is that some of them are independent contractors, like
Yeah.
CM Punk was. Maybe that's the thing that kind of muddles the whole thing and why they're reluctant to unionize
Well,
potentially. I'm just throwing it out there, but like it's
yeah.
just a shame that Vince can't see that these, and we went on about it a few podcasts ago, but that wrestlers, they can't be on Twitch or they can't be doing extracurricular activities.
It's boggling, isn't
nonsense,
The problem with Vince is that he's done things his way for so long, and he's not used to change. And to be a good businessman, as CM Punk said, a millionaire who should have been a billionaire, that you got to embrace that sort of change. You got to embrace new technology. That's why, as you said last time, he believes tout still exists.
Well, it all goes back to the DMCA thing as well, kind of, because like obviously DMCA have cracked down a fair bit this week on Twitch, and I just obviously we talked about Herman Lee and whatever, but it turns out he might have been taken off Twitch for another reason. But the point still stands is that DMCA is an antiquated law. It's from 20 plus years ago, and it hasn't taken into account streaming or anything like that. There was a tweet from Psycho Stick calling for it's a very good one actually. I actually retweeted it on my profile on Twitter. So if you want to have a look at that, then go ahead. But essentially, it was kind of along the lines of since this takedown drama started happening, I believe there's a simple solution to the problem that terrestrial radio stations have been abiding by since music became an industry. Bars, venues, and radio stations all have to pay royalties to label artists for playing copyright recordings. These payments typically go to BMI or ASCAP, both of which exist to make sure the artists and labels are being fairly compensated for the use of their music. Furthermore, other internet-based royalty collection services have crept up, such as Sound Exchange. My suggestion is that Twitch as a whole look into royalty collection services for streamers.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, in that relation to us, for example, I know I mentioned that I've been appealing some of like the music reactions we got on YouTube and stuff like that. And a lot of them, they've said, yeah, they've released a claim, they've agreed that it's not, it shouldn't be ID claim and stuff. The only company that is reluctant to do it and said the claim still stands is one called Believe Music, and they're the ones that own Nuclear Blast Records, who own Sharp Tone and like Amaranth, which we reacted to. Currents. So yeah, it's a bit bad in that sense. Like, fair use is fair use, but it's this is the whole reason why when we say like we've got to make sure that we talk in our reactions. This is why, because if we don't and we just show you the song, it'll get taken down. It will.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're either gonna sit there and listen to the song and the reaction, or you're going to go off and listen to the actual song if you really just want to hear the song. So just do that instead of commenting.
There's nothing that irritates me more than clicking on one of those react videos on YouTube and they're just sitting there in silence, just got like, eating Doritos or
It's not
whatever.
even. That's not even a reaction. That's just a. I don't know. I'm having a mental
Listen to
piss.
music.
Be right back.
Yeah.
Um,
But
but yeah,
I mean, that's the whole reason why we add commentary to it, because it is a reaction.
yeah. So
You know.
back to the wrestling. Anyway, we've got some of the tweets here. I haven't forgotten about Vince McMahon. Humanity first is the motto and applies to all we stand for. This kind of reminds me of, like, the whole speaking up for women in wrestling and stuff, like ages ago.
Mm.
You know, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, women's revolution.
Um, and then Maria Canellis Bennett
Yeah.
says, "How about a signed affidavit of the company culture and the moral deficiencies within WWE? I'm literally putting this out there so others have the confidence to come forward."
It's
That's the
such a
thing.
it's
See,
so,
people don't
it's
really. Sorry, before you continue, I was just
yeah,
saying,
yeah. Sorry, Cam.
people don't really. I feel like people don't speak out in case they either get fined or they get the sack. That's pretty much what it
Or
is.
they people, or wrestlers, I find them diplomatic a lot because they want to go back to WWE at some point, whereas so many have just burnt their bridges
Hmm.
with that company. And I think it's such a big open secret as to how WWE treats their talent now.
Exactly. I mean, it's just it shouldn't have to be that way, and it seems like this culture, this backstage politics culture that I see in these companies. If that happened over here or anything like that, or if I was in a job and that happened, I would be out the door in less than a
Mm.
month. I would not stick around for that, because I know that there are companies that don't behave that way. It's not a normal thing. It is not normal, and people have
Mm.
got to stop acting like it is normal.
Yeah, totally.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and yeah, Ryback's was just fuck WWE, which is
Yeah.
quite funny.
So Gabrielle Carter says, "Hey, thanks for standing strong for Labour solidarity. I support you. It's people's livelihoods, and I understand that."
Yeah,
Paige says,
Paige disagreeing with that, and notice that she's still got the WWE handle in her name, so she's obviously speaking. I mean, she probably still works for the company.
"Yeah, she's got to." It sounds like in that tweet, she's got to be very, very subtle about her tweet. Like,
Yeah,
she can't. Well, she can't. She can't really speak up against. It seems like anyone who dares speak up against their own company is getting the sack, and that's like King Charles the I ruling
Oh
Britain
yeah,
again.
no, Vince is a total, like, it's a totalitarian regime.
Yeah,
No,
and that's
under Vince McMahon.
it's one of the
Yeah,
reasons why I don't watch WWE as much as I used to, because I know,
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
because the whole mindset that I've seen from WWE now is create a massive moment like CM Punk's pipe bomb or whatever, promote it to hell and back on Twitter and other social media sites, then go back to the normal shitty programming that we've been used to. It's always that cycle, and
Mm.
they're obsessed with creating these moments, but they're never obsessed with keeping good consistency, and that is
Mm.
like that's
Well,
why
it's like supporting Arsenal.
yeah.
But Murray Man raised a good point. It's like, I suppose that now there is a viable alternative to WWE to go to work for in America. So AEW, people are speaking out more. Makes sense, really.
Yeah, like it's about time people speak out about this. People should have spoken up previously, but better late than never. Like, look at
I
all
know
the
it.
times that, like, WWE has either been racist or it's been, pretty judgmental to different stereotypes and things like that, and they've gotten away
Oh
with so
God, it's
much.
been appalling, hasn't it? In the past.
And it's like the ethic of what they stand for, and fighting for people and stuff. And then I don't want to get into like the actual
No,
American politics,
Let's,
but it stands that sort of thing. Mike Bennett says, "This generation of wrestlers won't stand for the bullshit. One man will not make a fortune off our broken backs anymore. What's wrong, Vince McMahon? You feeling the heat from that Biden win?" Oh, okay.
yeah, him and Trump are mates, aren't they?
Yeah, sadly.
Sadly, but he's in the Hall of Fame the WWE Hall of Fame, Donald Trump.
I know,
It was
and
that Mania main event with Bobby Lashley versus Umaga, and Trump was in Bobby Lashley's corner.
you know the thing that weirds me out about that is like Trump's been racist, he's been sexist, and things like that, but they fire a guy for saying pricks.
I know, it's backwards, isn't it?
Yeah. Now is the yeah, it's just like favoritism and stuff, isn't it?
Well, we get the idea anyway, so I think we'll probably move on from this just so we don't get too bogged down into this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Yeah. So that's all we got to say.
Well, there you go then. So basically, WWE, pull your finger out, get a union together, otherwise people will turn out in droves.
And they'll turn
That's
out
what I'm going to say.
with pitchforks and fire sticks.
Anyway, so listen to this. We
Juicy.
come to this segment at last. So we're going to do 3 this week. We've got one for both of us to listen to, one for KB to listen to from me, and one from myself to listen to from KB. So what should we start with, the one that both of us
yeah,
going to listen to?
I think so. So I think the legacy of Machine Head has been an interesting one, to be fair. They were like, when I first discovered them, it was mainly just before they released the Blackening, because I think Take My Scars was on Scuzz, and you know, went back and looked at their past discography, and yeah, it was, oh, my bad, didn't realize I was still on that. I'm on studio mode, that's why. So, you know, in terms of Machine Head and the band and things like that, you know, they started with that whole sort of groove ideals to them, and then they took a bit of an interesting turn with the Burning Red and Supercharger, which I don't want to pretend don't exist, because to say that stuff like that doesn't exist doesn't
Hey, I
show...
actually like their cover of Message in a Bowl. Not many people do.
I don't mind it, you know. But, you know, there's some real good hit songs like Old, Davidian, Take My Scars. I love the front lines off The More Things Change. Then Through the Ashes of Empire kind of kick-started a new sort of sound for the band that was a lot more advanced for what they've been doing, like Imperium, Bite the Bullet, All Falls Down, those kinds of songs. And then their absolute masterpiece, which was The Blackening. I don't know what I can say about this album that hasn't been said already. It is just an absolute joy to listen to from start to finish, and it's like Machine Head have that way of including all the rage that they can muster up into all these songs, and everybody's rage, and it just gives you that head-banging class that you want to put into.
Yeah. And then they released Unto the Locust following that, which is, I guess Locust was probably the first Machine Head song I ever heard.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Maybe it was Halo or something like that. But yeah, decent album again. And then the very much underrated Bloodstone and Diamonds from 2014, which I was harping on about it to Mosh Talks, and we were doing a Machine Head retrospective segment a few weeks ago. But my God, it's a good album.
Yeah.
And I feel like it really didn't get the attention it should have arguably deserved.
Yeah.
Which was a real shame.
Because, I mean, you count the songs that are on it, like, you know, Now We Die, absolute banger.
Killers and Kings, Damage Inside.
Yeah. Beneath the Silt.
Beneath the Silt, what an absolute banger.
Night of Long Knives, I love. Ghosts Will Haunt My Bones is probably my favourite off the album. Yeah, and I just love the production on the album as well. And then we get to we did have a few
Catharsis.
Well, before that we did have like Is There Anybody Out There? That was before Catharsis, wasn't it?
Well, that was the song that definitely caused the first, I think, of Machine Head's kind of modern day controversy.
Yeah, it was like
divide, and really that from that song kind of set a divide.
It made people weary of what the next album was going to be like, and funnily enough, like Catharsis, it kept what the Blackening and so forth had in sort of the nature of it, but I think there was quite a lot of dynamic to it that was stripped away from it, and I think that it was a very big for my issue that it was a very big emphasis on quantity over quality for a lot of it, because there's so many songs that you can skip through it, and there's only like 2 or 3 standout songs for me on the album, which would be Volatile, what's the Heavy Lies the Crown, and not Triple Beam, I don't like that one. I don't know, maybe those two, but
well, what's that one that rips off Strapping Young Lad? You know that
Beyond
riff?
the Pale, is it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it felt like they were a bit kind of, they kind of moved back towards that kind of rap metal
kind
element
of
slightly.
But it was also a change from the lyrical standpoint as well, because Machine Head were always known to sing about sort of like depression and misery and that kind of thing, but they have had, like, I think Bees did point out in his Machine Head stream that there's been many times in the past where they have spoken about politics in songs. I think it was just more of a relevancy to modern politics that people.
Yeah, exactly. It's it was the zeitgeist of the time.
Yeah,
because Catharsis came out in 2000. Well, it came out in 2018, but it's still in the midst of unrest and upheaval.
Yeah, and considering I think at the moment America are quite divided on it, there was definitely quite a bit of backlash on it from that point of view. Personally, for me, that I couldn't really give a shit about, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Hey, I purely look at things in a musical perspective, really.
Yeah.
Unless you're really, I don't know. I don't want to use Five Finger Death Punch as an example, but if you're just really like wankery in your beliefs, and you put stuff like, you call all mask wearers communists and stuff in your latest video, then I'm just like, no, I'm done.
I think so. The other thing now, current Machine Head has gone through quite a few lineup changes. Like Arulester left in 2002. Phil Demmel left in 2018, and he was a very critical side to Machine Head, as well as Adam Duce, who left in 2013. And then Tony Costanza, he sadly died this year. And then Dave McClain. What a phenomenal drummer. And he's not there anymore.
Dave McClain, Adam Duce, Phil Demmel. To me, that is like the era of Machine Head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is, like, for me, that's...
And there's only Rob Flynn is left.
Yeah, essentially. So now it's Rob himself, Wadclaw Kiatica, I think Kieltica.
I think it might be pronounced Václav or something.
Václav, okay.
Because he's Polish. Okay. I'll have to talk to Kuba about this.
Jared,
get the skinny and how it's pronounced.
Yeah, Jared McKeechin, or I can't. It sounds odd.
Watch now, the Key Yard podcast. Watch KB try to pronounce names.
Key Yard's too hot for TV. I remember Jared being in a band called Sanctity, who I saw supporting Trivium in 2007. So that goes back a while. They only had like one album, but then he was the front man for that.
Well, Václav Kieltica. I'm so sorry.
It's not just me, is it?
No, it's not just me. He was in Decapitated, I believe.
Yeah.
Before joining Machine Head.
Fair enough.
And Matt Elson. What I was kind of expecting them to do, because they went on a run, obviously playing Burn My Eyes in full for the anniversary.
Yeah.
And they drafted back in Logan Mader and Chris Kontos.
Yeah.
I would have expected Rob to go with that lineup as the Machine Head lineup.
Yeah.
For future reference.
Yeah.
But
they probably had other things to do, and they probably just.
But finally getting on to what Machine Head are doing in the year 2020, I have already listened to the couple of songs that they released before this one, called My Hands Are Empty. And we have not stalling, I'm just scrolling down to find Yeah, okay. So we have Circle the Drain, we had Stop the Bleeding, and Bulletproof. I actually haven't listened to Bulletproof yet, but Circle the Drain and Stop the Bleeding, very decent tunes. And obviously, Stop the Bleeding has my boy, Jesse Leach, on guest
Yeah.
vocals.
Bulletproof is
And
probably my favorite out of
oh,
those.
really? It's the one it's the one tune I haven't listened to. But I guess from this, you can kind of take the signature Machine Head sound is still there.
Yeah.
And Rob is very much wearing his heart on his sleeve as much as ever when it comes to things he wants to address in the
Yeah.
current world.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of My Hands Are Empty, what do we know about this? Is this going to be the album name, or is this
No,
just another?
I've had a check, but there doesn't seem to be any hints about any upcoming album. It looks like in terms of the art cover and stuff, it could be part of an album, but hang on.
Someone calling you.
Yeah, bear with me a second. Can I just take
All right,
this
okay.
for 2 minutes?
Well, whilst KB is taking this call, this is really professional here. I'm going to tell you some stuff about My Hands Are Empty. So this is from the Kerrang article. Apparently, Logan Mader did collaborate on this track. So go figure. Logan Mader, who played guitar on Burn My Eyes, his first collaboration on a Machine Head track with Rob in 24 years. So Rob himself says, I have some family members who have beaten their opioid addiction and still have some in the throes of addiction. It's painful to watch and I deal with it with great difficulty. It's a song of sadness, but there is hope as well. I've beaten my own drug addictions and we can fight through this together and share the pain with the world. So this song is apparently about drug addiction then. Musically, he says, I wanted to go for a bit of Through the Ashes of Empires vibes, and it had a grandiose vibe from the beginning. Something about the vocal melody haunted me day and night. I sent it off to one of our collaborators, Joe Wanasek, and he came back with a whole depth and dimension with strings and keys that really made the song come alive. Oh, that's good. So strings and keys, obviously calling back to some tunes from Bloodstone and Diamonds. Like Now We Die, of course. I added the guitar harmony in the chorus soon after, and I knew we were on to something special. So on the recent Burn My Eyes anniversary tour, he mentioned to Logan about needing a riff or two for a new song. He was excited to collaborate, sent him the song, and the next day he sent Rob back the heavy riff in the bridge, and I was floored. So, and Jaron McEachran plays bass on this. And during the pre-promo for the Burn My Eyes anniversary tour, Logan says, I had the special opportunity to collaborate. It's a big milestone for me to circle back on a massive orbit around life and end up doing new music with Machine Head is epic and unexpected. It was almost complete, the song, but needed a riff or two. Rob sent to me. I jumped in, added a section, which ended up in the master after some arrangement tweaks by Rob. It was a great feeling to be back in the studio with Rob. So, me saying, I guess, that they should have made Logan part of the actual Machine Head lineup. Who knows where this can lead? Maybe he will end up coming back in for a bit. But I guess just in terms of my own thoughts on Machine Head, I've never seen them live. And obviously, you have the controversy now that Rob no longer wants to play festivals, which is a real shame. I was actually quite close to seeing them live, to be fair. I went to Download 2012, but that was the year where we got there really, really late, and the weather was appalling. And the gates to let the crowd in, they didn't let anyone into the arena until 4 p.m. And excuse me. I believe Machine Head played on the main stage there underneath Chase's Status, weirdly. I think the headliner was that year. Or it might have been Slash. I could be wrong. I know Slash, Fear Factory, Machine Head, Cancer Bats, Devin Townsend, they were all playing on that. And I was gutted about not seeing Fear Factory, actually, in retrospect, because of obviously the situation with Burton and Dino at the moment. They're one of my favorite bands. But in Machine Head's terms, they've never really been one of my favorite bands. Oh, it's The Prodigy. Thank you, Michael. Okay, yeah. Well, I have seen The Prodigy live at Sonosphere. Top act. I was knackered after seeing Limp Bizkit, however, and I kind of had to go back to my tent after. I couldn't make it to the encore for Prodigy. I had to go back to my tent afterwards. I might as well. Yeah. So with myself with Machine Head, I have Burn My Eyes. I have the Blackening, Unto the Locust, Bloodstone Diamonds. They're all up there for me. Through the Ashes of Empire, I probably need to give another listen. I wasn't too keen on that one first listen. Supercharger's just not great, really. Burning Red definitely has some solid tunes on it. Could probably go through some of my standout Machine Head tunes before we get into this. Whilst KB is away from his desk. So yeah, in terms of so Machine Head. Yeah. So in terms of I mean, Bloodstone Diamonds is one of the standouts for me, right? Burning Red, you have From This Day, which I quite like, I Defy, and the title track, and the cover of Messages in a Bottle, which I actually do like. Screw you, bees. Yeah, obviously the new stuff, Circle and Drains, and Stop the Bleeding are very good. Yeah, more things change. I wasn't too keen on compared to Burn My Eyes. I like Take My Scars. I like Blistering, and I like 10 Ton Hammer. But other than that, I'm not too sure. And then Supercharger, White Knuckle, Blackout, Only the Names, and Deafening Silence are all right. Oh no, to be fair, Through the Ashes of Empires, there's a fair few. Imperium, Elegy, In the Presence of My Enemies, Seasons Wither, All Falls Down. They're all great tunes. I'm glad you're back, KB, because I was running out of stuff to stall. I was just talking about my experience with Machine Head.
My mum picked the dog up, that's all. So.
Oh, right. Okay, got you. So yeah, Michael says Through the Ashes is very good. One of my favorite. Get the US versions with Seasons Wither on it. One of their very best songs.
Well, I think that's on Spotify as well, Seasons Wither.
Yeah. And Murray Man says, seen Machine Head on that Burn My Eyes show, 3 hours long. 3 hours long.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, no, because they played Burn My Eyes in full and they did their own Machine Head set, didn't they? On that tour. So fair dues. All right, well, we're not going to waste any more time. Let's just get into it. So this is the newest single by Machine Head called My Hands Are Empty. And have you got it queued up yet, KB?
Yep. Queued up.
Okay, right. So on 3 then. 3, 2, 1, go.
Is this the Welsh national anthem?
I really like this though. This is like
Suspenseful.
This could be in Lord of the Rings or something, couldn't it?
Da 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 da.
It's like something the dwarves would sing in Moria.
He does look like a dwarf, actually, Rob Flynn.
And my axe.
And my BC rich warlock. And my shit saying fucked on it.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I've got to say, I really like this build-up.
I mean, it is 5 minutes.
It makes it feel epic, you know? Nice. Oh, yes.
This is the Machine Head I like.
Yeah.
Is this Jared singing?
Yeah, who's this?
I think it's Jared.
Is it? Wow. It could be Rob. I don't know.
It is Jared, okay.
No,
The guy's doing more.
I mean, what can you say about it so far? It sounds like Machine Head. Oh, I love that.
That's proper the more things change sort of thing. It does kind of have that vibe, doesn't it? The sort of more things change.
I feel like I compared it to Now We Die earlier.
Yeah.
Or what is that what it's called? Now We Die? Yeah, with the string arrangements and everything, and the epic feel of it.
It does have some elements of catharsis, but like in a good way.
I really, really like Jared's vocals actually in this. In contrast to Rob's sort of raw, you know? It's great.
Or what's it called? Now I Lay Thee Down, that song.
You know what this reminds me of something of We Are Not Your Kind a bit. Is that fair to say? In the guitar tone.
My hands are empty. My hands are empty.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering if this is Logan Mader's part, because whilst you were gone, I discovered subsequently about this track that Logan Mader actually does feature on this.
Really?
Yeah. And it's their first collab in 24 years.
Wow.
So there you go. There we go with the Machine Head natural harmonics in the riffage. My favourite part about Machine Head's riffage. Very much Halo sounding this riff. I don't know why, it's such... He uses the same trick over and over again with natural harmonics and riffage, and I never get tired of it, ever. It just adds... It's his signature sound, and it never fails to get me worked up.
No doubt. I think as well, like, you can hear how more thorough his harsh vocals are. Sorry, it's getting me on that.
It's very... yeah, I really like this. Slight auto-tune on Jared's vocals.
Maybe.
Is it just very well produced? Like an EQ?
I don't know, Melodyne?
It's got a kind of...
Oh, I can hear what you mean.
Oh,
yeah.
no, it's definitely auto-tuned. But it's not overly done, you know what I mean? It kind of just adds something to it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, because you can still hear imperfections in it, just...
Yeah, but I like the imperfection. Well, there you go. So that was My Hands Are Empty by Machine Head. I mean, what are your initial reactions to that?
I think it's not like an outstanding Machine Head song like Clenching the Fist of Dissent or anything like that, but it's very solid. But it does bring some new things to the table, and that bridge section there with that was really good, and bringing the harmonics back. It's everything you gotta love from Machine Head, really.
I just feel like I'm gonna have that thing in my head all day now.
Yeah,
right up until New Music Saturday.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a solid thumbs up from me personally. I if this is a part of an album, I very much welcome it. Hope it's going to be as good as Bloodstone. I liked Jared's kind of softer vocals contrasting with that sort of growl that Rob has, and that vitriolic delivery.
Yeah.
I like the opening kind of choir Minds of Moria type deal. I like the solo. It just makes you wonder which bits Logan Mader actually collaborate. What did he add to that song?
Yeah.
To make it, because he said the song was more or less finished. I told him this while you were away from desk. He said the song was more or less finished, but then Rob gave him the track and he added two things to it, like two bits sections. And then Rob was like, "Yes, now we have it."
Okay.
So it'd be interesting to see which two sections those actually were. But so it's, what can you say? Machine fucking Head.
All the way. So that was Machine Head with My Hands Are Empty. Or get it now while stocks last. So, your song, Rob?
Yes. So my song for you. So this band, a lot of people in the chat will be familiar with this already. Just bear with me a second. Here we go. So this band are called Pteroglyph, like pterodactyl, but with
Hieroglyphs.
hieroglyphs. I guess. I don't know. I knew virtually nothing about this band before the last New Music Saturday, right? And so this band are a technical metal band from Leeds.
I like them already.
And they've played it. I believe they've played at Bloodstock before, but this is going to come. This is the title track from their new album, which is called the upcoming album, I should say, called Solaire. And they started as a one-man bedroom project that slowly evolved into a full band production. They all played with each other in various different metal bands, been friends for years. I'm reading off this from an interview of moshville.co.uk, by the way, because there's virtually nothing out there about this band. They've been playing together since current incarnation has been playing together since roughly 2018. Last couple of years out on the road, playing to anyone that will have them. Honing their sound has been their objective before hitting the studio. Here we go. Here's what the name stands for. Apparently, Pteroglyph is an amalgamation of words mashed together like a toddler to create something unique. Is what they've said, not me. Ptero means to have wings. Glyph means symbol. So
wings on a symbol.
I guess so, or symbolic wings, or something like that. And they say their influences include Meshuggah, Gojira, Decapitated, Silosis, and Architects.
I like them again already.
And so when they say describe your music, what makes them unique? They say punishing and relentless tech metal riffs being played way faster than they should be, like if Meshuggah and Gojira had a radioactive three-headed child. Our focus is being neck-snappingly tight and shoveling as much air as we can out of our instruments. Lyrical themes include loosely based around the prevalent inequalities in modern society, while also coming from a post-apocalyptic point of reference. So I guess you get the idea, really, with this band.
Mm-hmm.
So the song in question I want you to listen to, KB, is called Solaire.
Praise the sun! Sorry.
Yes. Now, this band have only got 2,000... no, not even that. 1,232 plays on their Spotify so far.
So that very, very low. So let's
very low indeed.
Give them and the 1,333rd one.
Yeah, and they already had an album out called "Death of a Prince."
Right.
And this is going. Oh, this is an EP, apparently called Solaire from this year, released quite recently. So on cue, if you want to go 3, 2, 1.
Yep. So 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh.
Very much an In Due Time sounding riff, I feel, this one. I can hear In Due Time in this.
I love those vocals. Those are the kind of vocals I love.
I knew you'd dig this.
Alright, criminally underrated.
Not even got through the whole track yet.
I say it like I see it and hear it.
You can tell the influences though right away, can't you? The Gojiras, the Meshuggahs, all that lot.
Yeah.
With just the riffage and the vocals. And again, the scream singing thing that seems to be the in thing at the moment, popularised by Architects and bands like that.
That sounds like Jamie, what's his name? Not Jamie Lennon from
Jasta from Hatebreed.
No, well, kind of. But I was thinking Heart of a Coward's Jamie, or well, Viscera. Now.
Oh yeah. I got it. You can hear a bit of Hatebreed in this, to be fair.
Yeah, it kind of gets, like they have those just riffs that hit you. They just hit you.
I like this chorus, I gotta say.
Oh, I love the chugs. I miss those chugs so much. Like, fuck you, you took over. This is the OG. Actually, no, Black Sabbath's the OG, but you know.
So this is a three-piece. Again, I can't really reiterate that enough. This band, there's only 3 people in this band. It sounds monolithic, doesn't it, for a trio?
Oh, I know, yeah. The stuff you can do in your bedroom, eh? You know.
Yeah.
I pretend I didn't say that.
So yeah. Oh, there we go. It's the Gojira pick scrape. I love a Gojira pick scrape. I love that. That sort of style is right on my alley. It's why if you give me any more deathcore to listen to, make sure they have that stuff like that in it.
Yeah. Don't worry, I got plenty of stuff lined up for you.
Yeah.
Still need to give you some impending doom. That's a band name, but not like gonna kill you or something. Nice.
Well, there you go. So that was Terraglyph.
Terra.
With Solaire. Terraglyph. That was Terraglyph with Solaire. So what do you think of that, KB?
Yeah, just overall solid. You know, this is like what I said about the Machine Head song. These guys deserve to go far, I think.
Oh man, I'm
they
flabbergasted that this only
package.
has 1,232 plays on Spotify. It really, go out there and check out Terraglyph. Honestly, these guys have got something about them for sure.
Good name as well.
Just to give you a quick bio, because I did find the Spotify bio. So that modern melodic death metal from Leeds, led by musician and songwriter Jimmy McGregor. So he's the bass player. The guy who's singing plays the bass. And there's Ansley Prothero on guitar and Brady Nixon on drums. Combining musical styles, one foot in old school death metal. You can hear the Morbid Angel in the old school death metal.
Definitely.
You know, with the harmonics and the riffage or whatever. Other deep rooted in modern technical metal. Yeah, we established that. Originally started as a one-man solo project in 2012, grown and developed into a formidable live band, creating soundscapes that are punishing and expansive. They've brought together a new, more aggressive sound, intending going, getting bodies moving and leaving little room to breathe. You know, they have their intentions in place, which is very good. You know, they're not one of these bands that can kind of flip-flop or mollycoddle over what sound they want. You know, they have a sound firmly established in place, which is good.
Yeah.
Played up and down the UK, numerous festival appearances. Their live shows are a display of technical ferocity, neck-snapping tightness with the new album Solaire. Came out on the 6th of November. It's more of an EP, I would say. There's only 6 tracks on it, I believe.
This is why I hate Spotify sometimes. They don't, when you see new releases, they don't put bands like this on there.
Well, you just need to find them. You need to look hard enough. And thankfully, we have people like Bees.
I want it to come to me.
Numizade drawing our attention to this, because I would never have found out about this band otherwise.
Yeah.
Shoveling as many riffs you can down the throat into the nearest available speaker. So there we go. That was Terraglyph. Please go and check them out. There's way more than 1,000 Spotify playlists. on the strength of that alone, you know.
Yeah.
So there you go. So KB, what have you got for me this week?
So how do you feel about Australian metal?
I like my Australian metal.
Yeah.
I like Parkway. I like Carnival, Butterfly Effect, Cog. You know, the more progressive side of Australian metal, the better, I would say.
Yeah. So have you heard of a band called Polaris?
I have actually. When I was coming back from paintball, which I covered in a previous podcast, I did have a couple of listens of Polaris in the car. The tune you have chosen for me, I don't think I've listened to yet, but
Okay.
I don't really know anything about them hardly, so
Okay. So we'll start with saying
might
that,
as well start from scratch.
yeah. So they're an Australian metalcore band consisting of vocalist Jamie Hales, which I've got to say, one of the top harsh vocalists in metal today. He's just, you listen to him, you think, how the can you do that for an entire gig? Guitarist
Totally.
Ryan Sue, Rick Schneider, bassist Jake Steinhauser, and drummer Daniel Finari. So they released their debut album, The Mortal Coil, which you probably heard Lucid on. Had critical acclaim, and was nominated for 2018 ARIA Award for Best Hard Rock. Because it was more of like a sort of post-hardcore / metalcore album, The Mortal Coil. But their newest album now, The Death of Me, which released on the 21st of February 2020 this year through Resistant Sharptone Records, has gone into more of a progressive metalcore sort of thing with some post-rock elements, but it's definitely much heavier than The Mortal Coil. So I have picked a song for you which has been one of my favorite songs to listen to this year. I've not got tired of it since it came out in February. So this is called Landmine. And this,
Nice.
I'm glad you haven't listened to this because you were in for a wild ride with this one. So,
Okie dokie.
So
I'm looking forward to this.
if there's anything else I haven't left out, cool. Okay. So, yeah, let's go. So, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Very nice riffage. Wow. Wow, yeah, you're right. He really sings with his heart on his sleeve, you can tell. I like a hay. I like a good hay.
It's very authentic, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a bit of Parkway in this, I feel.
Yeah?
Very in the kind of hay rousing. I'm thinking of like things like Vice Grip or something like that, or Prey, songs like that. Not just saying it because they're Australian, but genuinely some of it reminds me. But obviously not on the riffage, it's a lot more technical. Yep, architects all over that. So is this the same guy that screams?
Sometimes there is a separate clean vocalist, but live he does sing some cleans as well. Jamie Hales.
Oh, here we go. Feel the breakdown coming on. What's the mosh call going to be? Very nice. What do you say there?
I don't know.
This is real shoulder shuffling kind of metal, isn't it? Brilliant guitar playing. Yep.
And then a blast beat right at the end.
Yeah.
So you're still on the deathcore spree, don't worry about that.
Not really much I can say about this, really, just solid.
That's the thing, all the songs we played today is solid.
Sure.
So yeah,
Nice.
Landmine by
right.
Polaris. There's such a good album. Masochist is another good song. That's it's more of a lighter song, but like the way it goes is great. You've listened to Vagabond, you told me. And then you've got Creatures of Habit, which is also one of my favorites off the album. So yeah. Definite good listen.
I mean, you can tell immediately, you know, the sort of the Architects influence, and you know, there's a bit of post-hardcore in there in the clean vocals. Elements of Parkway I feel like were creeping in. I don't know whether it's just because they were Australian, I was thinking that way, but I don't know. The anthemic quality is very Parkway.
Yeah,
you know.
but I feel like this band is going to go very far. Like, you know,
how long have they been going for again?
So, well, their first album was in 2017, so very, very new.
Very recent then.
They formed in 2012, so still quite fresh, fresh meat. And so since then they've had a new guitarist with Ryan Slew, and they had an EP called Dichotomy, I think it's called. The word is pronounced. And yeah, they're carrying on going and strong as ever. So
their most streamed song has 17 million plays, so I think they're doing all right.
Yeah, the Remedy is probably their most well-known song. Because it's just like,
I don't know if I listened to that one. I might have done.
It's very much an anthem. Like, that would be the song that they would, like, in a few years they'd play as the last song in their set.
Yeah, well, that was good. That was very solid. I'll probably listen to the whole album. You mentioned post rock before, so are there other albums a bit more kind of atmospheric then?
Kind of like, well, just more post-hardcore / metalcore-ish sort of thing. So, like, you can still recognize the stem, but it's definitely, I don't think it's just as heavy as this latest album. Like, this latest album is definitely a step in a different direction, but in a good way. I think this is this is what they would help them lean towards more.
Solid enough, and and I'll definitely check out more of this band in the future.
Good stuff.
Really, that's all I can say.
God, you're spreading your sayings onto me now. Good stuff.
That's okay. Good stuff. That's all I can say. I need to come up with more commands. You're right.
Nice one.
So I've got nice one, and I've got fairs or fair dues or fair enough.
Should have like a soundboard thing on my Twitch, and it's just like some
really should.
That says "nice one, nice one." I just want one of those timing, perfectly timing moments.
Well, my mate. Shout out to all the low end. One of my a guy I follow on here. He's a bass player of Novena. He has a thing where you pay 50 bits to play a sound, and he has things like "suck your mum" and "give me your phone" and "yes" and things like that. It's brilliant.
I've just got if anyone hasn't seen yet, I've got a bits thing down there where you can pay to cheer. Well, yeah, I need to get the alerts. Actually, tell you what, I'm gonna do it right now. Let's bear with me a second. This honestly won't take that long.
Well, whilst you're doing that, I'm going to say that we're probably only going to do one would you rather this week because we have gone way over time.
Yeah.
We've been going for 2 hours. It's ridiculous. This is like probably our longest yet.
Head back.
See that?
See what?
Kieran does that show on the stream? Kieran Benji's now following.
Oh, I can't see anything to be. I'm still trying to work out this new phone. To be fair.
Try it again.
Head back.
Oh yes, it does. I can see it. Sorry, it was a bit delayed. Yeah. What is that? Is that a Pokemon?
Yes, a Spinder. It's a Dizzy Pokemon. Spinder, use Dizzy Punch, you bitch. You know, something.
You and all the low end will get along, by the way, because he does mainly Pokemon Street, like those hack streams. Not hack streams. That's Mario.
Head back.
He's actually currently on right now, and he's doing Pokemon Fire Red / Leaf Green. So I guess we could raid. I guess we could raid him after we're done with this.
Yeah, that's cool.
But anyway, so we're gonna wrap it up with Would You Rather, and we'll do one this week because we've gone way over time. But basically, in this one, in this instance, I've gone on to signupgenius.com. I have 100 Would You Rather questions. I get KB to pick a number between 1 and 100, and we discuss the resulting Would You Rather question with him. So, KB, please pick a number between 1 and 100.
93.
93. Would you rather be able to breathe underwater or fly through the air?
You get me breathing underwater.
It's funny. We were planning to do. We were kind of planning to do a cover of that, a joint cover, me doing all the instruments and KB singing it, but nothing ever came to fruition.
It never too late.
This is but for my Valentine's song from Gravity.
Yeah, their most cherished album.
Hey, we like it, don't we?
I like it.
I do.
I like it, but probably just not as much as like the Poison or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
right,
that's for another day. Oh, take a drink.
So breathe underwater, fly through the air. Which would you rather do?
Oh, so, well, I mean, there's already devices to help you breathe underwater better than there's devices to help you fly through the air, except a plane which flies multiple people through the air. But like jetpacks aren't really a thing. Like the current jetpacks only like last for like 7 seconds. So for that reason, I'd pick flying through the air. I think you get much more done.
But say if you're in a situation you're working in London, would you rather be able to swim through the Thames and breathe the water, or would you rather fly to your nearest place of work? I don't know. I'm trying to give it a bit of context here.
Yeah, I would be in my flying Ford Anglia and use my invisibility booster.
I think we'd all like to fly, wouldn't we? I mean, breathing underwater. Well, you know, if you wanted to be an Olympic swimmer or something.
Plus,
I mean, it'd be useful.
I mean, it would be the one thing I find. I don't want people giving me a job to swim down to the Marianas Trench. I would be shit scared.
Oh yeah, no, totally. No, nothing to do with swimming in the actual ocean.
I don't want to be attacked and killed by a colossal squid. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the Olympics,
I think we're both going for flying that one then.
What if? And this is a bit of a hypothesis. What if you could compete?
What if I was to purchase fast food and disguise it as my own cooking?
Yeah, if you could compete in a 400-meter sprint, but you had the power of flying at the same time, so you could propel yourself forward, but it doesn't look like you're flying. It just looks like you're running really fast, so you win the sprint.
Wow, that's a hell of an idea.
Yeah.
Breathing underwater. I'm just trying to think of anything. Maybe if you're like. If you're like part of the Secret Service, and you like have to
infiltrate someone's boat,
you know in the films, or you know, alternatively, if do you know the film Sexy Beast with Ray Winston?
No,
it's so good. You got to watch it.
I'm just thinking of Call of Duty 4, where they
basically
infiltrate the boat.
They're a bunch of bank robbers, right? And to pull off a heist, they basically drown the vault in water, right? And then underwater, they collect all the stuff from the vaults. So I guess if you could breathe underwater without any apparatus, but then again, you'd still, you'd have apparatus somewhere. I just don't see the benefit. There's more benefits of flying through the air than breathing underwater, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. We'll see
All
how
right.
it goes.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. We will do one more because that one was a little bit shit. So, another number between 1 and 100.
57.
Okay. Would you rather have many good friends or one best friend?
Let's say we're best friend. So I'm gonna. Well, of course
but
it's you, you
I
wanker.
well, I guess would you rather I be like your only friend but be really really loyal,
Yeah.
right? Or like hundreds upon hundreds of good friends, but you don't really consider any of them your best friend?
No, because it would just be like Facebook, which I hardly comment on these days.
Mm,
And
there you
people
go.
I hardly know wishing me happy birthday, and I'm like, you don't even know me, girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd rather have one best friend. This is a no-brainer for me.
Ah. Yeah. I would rather have one loyal, caring best friend than 100 disingenuous good ones.
I want
You know what I mean?
I want the best Samwise Gamgee that there could ever be.
There you go. I don't mean to leave you, Mr. Frodo.
I do, it means no harm, Mr. Frodo.
We have made an inexplicably large number of Lord of the Rings references in this podcast. I don't know why, but we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in live. If you're tuning live on Twitch, thank you everyone for watching this podcast on YouTube. If you watch on YouTube, so our YouTube channel, we are the Key Odd Podcast on YouTube, where you can find these podcasts in full, uninterrupted. Hopefully, a little bit censored. Depending on what we talk about. Or you can find optimized versions of each of the topics we've covered on this podcast on our channel. Obviously, you can catch us here every Saturday at 2 p.m. or around about there. Kieran Benji on Twitch. Where else can we find you, KB?
YouTube, yeah, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter.
Have you got any YouTube videos in the pipeline?
I've still got the disturbing bosses from horror games in the works, so yeah, definitely. I do, but I have got videos which after that I can just put together really easily and just upload. So it's not like I'd be working really hard on this one and then I'd just take very long to upload the next one. It's just
Awesome.
it's been a busy month, and because I guess I could say now that I'm leaving my current job and I'm starting a new job in December. So,
Are you?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So-
Congrats, man. I guess.
Thank you.
So, what is it going to be about?
I can't, for obvious reasons, I can't say on the stream where it's going to be.
Oh yeah, don't say where it's going to be,
but
but just what are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be a systems analyst.
Okay.
So it's basically identifying and troubleshooting problems with the system or web applications and things like that.
IT stuff.
Yeah, still IT. It's what I know. It's just a good chance to like try something new, something closer to where I live now. So I might sell my car if that's the case, because I can just ride a bike or something like that,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
save money.
That's very cool.
And that means I can sub to more people on
Are you
OnlyFans.
going to be Yeah. Are you working from home on this for now, or like are you actually traveling there then?
No, for the moment I'm working from home. Thanks, Mary man, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be working from home still. They did say when things are like sort of back to normal that there's still the option to work from home, because they found people are working better at home, and maybe just like one day in the office to have a meeting or something like that. So good stuff, because I do like working from home. Sometimes it can be a bit bleak, but it's I do prefer it in many ways to working in the office, if I'm honest. Not to be antisocial or anything.
Yeah, well, okay. So, yeah, congrats, KB. That's very great news.
Thank you.
As for me, you can find me on RobV93 on here, where I will start streaming a lot more. I've outlined what sort of stuff I'm going to cover earlier on in this podcast. On here being Twitch, in case you don't know. RobV93 on Twitter as well, although I barely use it nowadays because it's just a toxic, horrible, negative cesspool of an environment. I mainly retweet Simpsons Arsenal, although he's gone AWOL, so
He probably thinks the same as you now.
Yeah, exactly. And Rob Veryard on Instagram, Rob Veryard Music on Facebook, Veryard, in case you don't know, and Rob Veryard on
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. That's the one. Yeah, I need to. One of the things I really want to do on my channel is start working on my own songs and like broadcasting me working on my own songs, because I
Yeah.
feel like that could be a good thing to do.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay.
That's copyright free as well. But yeah, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Shall we raid our friend, my friend, all the low end?
Yeah, sure. I currently, well, I do have something planned for 5 o'clock as well, just a stream. That's if I
Yes,
can do it.
just in
Now
case,
that the little friend has gone. But yeah, I was gonna do Pokemon, but I packed that
It's do
killing
you know how
Mbappe.
to spell it, by the way?
You, let me know now, and then I'll do it.
Yes, so it's all the, obviously,
all small things.
all the are the small things, LOWE,
All the low. Oh, yeah.
and then END.
So all the low end.
Yeah.
So all the low end, all those words together.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, all those words together.
Okay. Invalid username. Oh, lovely.
Right. Hang on.
Let me go into.
Let me right.
This is going so well.
This is going really well, isn't it? ALL.
Yep.
THE.
Yep.
LOWE.
Yep.
END.
Oh, so 2 E's. That's what it was.
Yes.
All right. We got it right this time.
So this is my mate. This is my mate Moat from Novena. He's bass player of Novena. He's brilliant. He's hilarious. He's playing Pokemon at the moment. So go and say hi. And thank you so much again for listening. And KB, do you want to sign us off quickly before the raid gets underway?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys. And yeah, until I come back on and ruin his credibility. No, I'm joking. No, thank you for watching, and until next time, lights out.
Lights up. All right, there we go. So we're now just wait.